Tumblr.com.
The Airline VIP Lounge, it sounds so glamorous, doesn't it? But are you really missing out on anything if you don't want to fork over the extra money to join? The Savvy Stews, Bobby, Laurie, and Gailen David are here to set the record straight. Nice to have you here, gentlemen. Okay, first of all, let's talk about, is it worth it to do this if you're not a frequent flyer? Is this really built for the person who travels all the time?
It used to be that you had to be a frequent flyer in order to get into the clubs. You'd have to buy an annual membership or have one given to you by the airline.
Okay.
But now you can buy a day pass. So if you're going to be at the airport a lot, if you're getting to the airport 4 hours in advance,
sure,
or you have a big, long connection,
layover or something?
Exactly. It would sometimes behoove you to buy a day pass.
Okay,
it's worth it.
If you're going to get a membership, though, is it pretty pricey? Does it depend on the airline?
Yeah, that's actually about around $500 a year. And if you have status with the airline, if you are a frequent flyer, it's usually a little bit cheaper, but not by much.
If you have status.
Right, right. And you know what? You can usually take 2 guests in with you if you have a membership. And so it really works out well. You can take like your spouse in, but sometimes you want to buy a membership that allows your spouse to use it when they're traveling alone as well. And those are a little bit more.
Is it for adults only?
You're allowed to bring your children in.
Yeah.
And there's no problem as long as they're attended. You can't just give your child a card.
Sure, and say go in and have at it.
Yeah.
So there are things you need to know as far as rules that are set when you go in. Okay, so there are some things that you need to know if you are going to invest in this. First of all, privacy. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know what? You're looking for some added privacy when you go into a club.
To be away from riffraff like me while you're out and about.
You know when you go to the airport and it's just so crowded.
Yeah, the coffee shops and such.
Yeah.
So this gives you some privacy if you go in.
It can. What you have to think about is when the airport's crowded, a lot of times the club could be crowded as well.
So everyone's thinking like you are.
Right.
Exactly. But what I would say for people that are just thinking about getting away from the crowd and they're thinking about buying a day pass to escape the crowds at the airport, go into the club and take a peek. And you know what? Ask for a tour if you'd like. You can walk in.
So that gives you an idea. So you're not wasting your money if you don't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a great feature though. You can take a shower in there?
Yeah, most
in all of them?
Yeah, well, not in all of them. It's usually only in the hub cities of the particular airline that you're flying on.
Great amenities.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, especially if you have like a long day at work and then you want to go, you're going to take a red-eye flight. On the other end, you can go take a shower before you start your day on the East Coast.
Makes the biggest difference. I'm telling you. It's a huge bathroom. So you can, spread out your stuff, and they've got a place for your luggage and everything like that. You can totally spend a half hour, 45 minutes in there, really get freshened up, and you actually feel like you took a power nap.
I was just going to say, because you can feel grimy just on the, just flying anyway.
Just feel like you woke up.
Okay, let's talk about dining in those private areas if you're going to get into a club. Is it worth it?
A lot of times the food options in the clubs, unless you're going to one of the like British Airways first class lounge or something like that at JFK, it's not really fantastic food.
Okay.
It's already, pre-made and it's in the little, containers and that sort of thing. So what I would say is the airports have such great restaurants these days.
They do.
That I kind of gave up the airline clubs as often because the options in the terminals are so fantastic.
Interesting.
So if you're looking for dining, sometimes you might not want to go ahead and invest in the airline club visit because you can enjoy a nice, cocktail, lunch, and you can use the Wi-Fi that the airport provides or that's already on your phone.
Well, and you may not like the behavior of some people who are in there or the manners, the etiquette, things of that nature.
Oh, you know what? And that's the misconception sometimes is that you're going to go into these airline clubs and everyone's going to be very polite and well behaved. Right. And I was in one recently, and the woman behind me had her feet up on her dirty shoes up on the table right behind me. And I'm Mr. Jetiquette.
Jetiquette, I love that.
Exactly. So I know. I even had to snap a picture.
Of course you did. That's the thing. If you ever see Gailen in an airport, just know he has to run because he has a camera with him. He'll get a picture of you. So this is good to know. So just maybe do some research and decide for yourself. Maybe you just want a day pass. You don't want to do the big investment.
Yeah, because this kind of brings it back full circle. Depending on how often you fly, it might be worth it for you to go out and pay the $500 membership fee. If you're just a leisure traveler and you fly maybe once, twice, 3 times a year, just buy the day pass because that's only going to be $150 as opposed to $500.
I've always wanted to know, and now I do, thanks to you. For more from Bobby and Gailen, you can check out their website, savvystews.com. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
had no